What's doing? Welcome to another episode. This one's a little bit of a technical one on a Mitsubishi ASX with a trouble code. Let's go have a look. Yeah, that's right. This one's got P1498, which is DPF overloading. This has actually come from another mechanic because they couldn't work out what was wrong. So we got it in, and I guess a lot of mechanics may just throw a new DPF at it, or they might do a DPF burn. Oh yeah, it's overloaded, let's just do a burn, force burn, do a clean, send it on its way. That's not how the systems work. They usually only block up if there's a problem. So let's go and have a look on the engine bay and see what the problem may or may not be. So under the bonnet here now, Jess has already plugged in the scan tool and it's got that P1498, which is DPF overloading. We've opened the bonnet. Can't see anything much in the engine bay, so let's have a look. So that's the engine bay. You can't see much. Turbo's here, DPF's there, your pressure sensors here. So first thing you check is make sure the pressure sensor hoses are on. They're on, there's no breakages and they're all good. It's not actually throwing a code for that either, so we should be safe with that one. Next we check for air leaks. Now the problem we have is we've already pulled this hose out. Because there's a nightmare to get to, it's in there. So let's go over to the bench and have a look at the hose and see what we found. So just had this smoke machine out. It basically just plugs onto our battery and when smoke comes out of here and fills the crevices, any holes will be shown. So here you can see she just split the intercooler hose open. Now everywhere else is okay. It's full of oil and nastiness. So that is split. That is the cause of the problem, not the DPF. So we need to replace this and go on to the next step. So the next step will be we replace that hose. I'll throw up a photo here now of the intake. The intake is chock-a-block full of carbon from the EGR, and so we need to clean that as well. So what happens is that intake hose is leaked, and let's throw numbers out. You know, it might be running 10 pound of boost. The airflow meter is seeing 10 pound of air going through the intake because that's what the turbo is sucking in, and then it's loading up and going, okay, there's heaps of air there. Let's load up heaps of fuel. Loading up heaps of fuel dumps into the DPF, but there's no air there, so there's a heap of soot going in. It fills up the DPF, and then it comes back around on the EGR, it blows into the intake, so it's this never-ending circle of death. So the DPF isn't the issue, it is the intake pipe. So we're going to replace the intake pipe. Like I said, the photo I just showed you before of the intake, we're going to do an intake clean all that out, and once that's done, we're going to do a DPF clean, and then we'll do a force burn, so they'll get back down because it's actually full. So once we've done the force burn, it should be all cleared out and done. We can clear all the lights off, and then we have to do an oil change because all the junk and contaminants out of the DPF will go into the sump, do an oil change, and be on their way and fixed. So don't just jump to conclusions and think, oh, it just needs a clean or it just needs a force burn. There's generally something causing that problem. So we'll get this run up. I'll show you all the procedures that we go through and have it out this way, fix this afternoon. All right, when the machine's powered up, Josh is doing the programming. You can see down here, I'll go sideways, it'll look a bit ugly, but that's the intake. So we'll get this intake clean done, and then we'll do the DPF clean, and then we'll do the burn and the service. So the intake clean's been running for about 10 minutes now. You're not going to probably see too much, it's hard in the camera, but she's pumping out smoke. We've had to run our fan extractor to try and get it away from the workshop. But that's the intake clean running. So that'll run for probably another half an hour or so, and then we'll get stuck into the DPF. Alright, so Josh is renewing his memory bank with the instructions, but the DPF cleaner has been plugged into the DPF here via the pressure sensor for about 15 minutes or so. We've had to put a drip tray under the back because the amount of crap that comes out the back of these things is pretty bad. So he's just about to start it up and we'll see what comes out the back in the first stage. This one looks like it might blow some bubbles. It's blowing something already. There we go. Look at bubbles! There it is. Oh, it's all over my legs. So you can see the cleaner coming out. It's also bringing out all the carbon and junk with it. So the machine's now running the rinse, so that rinses out, it's sprayed in the DPF and comes out and it rinses out the back. So any leftover carbon, chemical and whatever else gets washed out. It just runs for about 15-20 minutes. So clean all that out, and then we have to do a burn. Yeah, so once that's all done, then we're going to do force burn, and once we've done the force burn, then we can do the oil filter change. So Josh's going to rev it up now, try and force that rinse. But then once that's done, yeah, force burn, clear out all the DPF, so it's all good to go. Then we can do an oil change, reset everything, and we're ready to go. So stay tuned, we've got more to come. Rinsing chemicals coming out now. So it's looking amazing there. So that's going to continue to run. Like I said, Josh will run through probably 10 or 15 minutes. That'll clean all the DPF out completely. We'll do that force burn, and then we'll do the oil change. But it's yeah, it's still pouring out of there now. It's nice and pluggy. All right, so the job's all done. Josh was too efficient for me and got it all done, and I was out on the road test doing other bits and pieces, come back and the car's gone. But Josh went and did the burn. We can't do them station, we actually have to go for a drive, so that's why I missed him. You gotta go for a drive. It took him about 40 minutes. He drove from here to Glasshouse and back, I think it was about 3 times on the highway, over 80 k's an hour, over 2 grand or something like that off the top of my head. And you have to keep it at that speed, basically get some temperature into it, which is what you should try and do anyway. If you're putting around town, it's always gonna block the DPF up, but a boost hose leaking is gonna be the main problem with that anyway. But went back and forth to Glasshouse for 3 times. It finally went into the burn mode and cleared it all out, brought it back down to 0. We brought the car in, they did an oil change after it, because you need to do an oil change after you do a force burn, especially one that full. All the gunk and contaminants get sucked back into the engine, and the extra fuel getting put in to burn the DPF gets put into the engine, so into sump. So you need to clear all that out, do an oil change, reset all the parameters and everything, and went for a drive and the car's gone. No more complaints with the customer. I actually gave them a call myself, they're quite happy. Everything went through great. No more problems with the car, and the other mechanic asked what we did, so I filled them in. So hopefully they know for future reference how to fix these things. They're not really a hard thing to do. Once you know what you're looking at, get it diagnosed properly, find yourself a good mechanic, find someone that can do a little thing with the right scan tools and the equipment to clean all the DPFs out, and you save yourself lots of money instead of having to go to a dealership and get led astray there. So if you have any dramas with those, hopefully that gets it all sorted for you. They're very common, especially in most of the Mitsubishis. They have that rubber hose, they all split, Rangers are the same. Colorado's are the same, I think Triton's are the same, Pajero's are the same, all those things with that rubber hose, the intake, they just get hot, they get full of oil, they perish, they leak, and then it starts this snowball effect. It starts losing boost, you start losing power, and it starts clogging up the DPF. So that's it for this technical one. I'll try and do more other things as well, dyno stuff, drifting stuff, forward driving stuff, but this is just another technical one for people that are getting stuck with their DTCs for that. So hit that like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.